Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the webinar. It is exactly 11 o'clock, and we are starting off now. We have more than 190 participants, and people are still joining in. Let me start by introducing myself. I am Commander Vijaydeep Verma, and I am closely associated as a channel partner with Intertech. It is Intertech, which is the sponsor of this webinar. Uh, I have a very special affinity for this webinar today because of my daughter who is doing her graduation as an architect and will soon join your community. So I have a special affinity for the architects. I'm also pleased to welcome all the architects and the community of architects who have joined in today, and because of which this webinar, how to design a green and permanent earthing, is possible. The real architect of this webinar is architect Kapil Mehta, a long-time friend of mine. I have known him for more than now nearly 3 years, and it is his commitment to a green earth and a safe India that this webinar has been possible. He has put massive effort to invite all of you to this program. As I said initially, that this webinar is sponsored by Intertech, and Intertech is led by a 76-year-old maverick, Sardar Charanjit Singh, a pioneer and a serial entrepreneur who introduced the permanent and green earthing solution called Maconite in India. In the last 8 years, he has created a network of specialists in earthing across India. He has 26 partners, out of which I am also one of them. And I have been fortunate to learn a tremendous lot from Sardar Charanjit Singh about earthing, which was an area which was absolutely neglected with low awareness. And it is he who has taught me a lot about it. Sardar Charanjit Singh is committed to a safe and progressive industrial India. And his vision is shared by a young consultant and entrepreneur, Mr. J.P. Singh, an electrical engineer and a specialist in earthing and solar technology. JP has a vast knowledge, and I have interacted with him personally for the last nearly 3 years. Uh, and I am really impressed by him, and he loves to, speak with people to share his knowledge. Uh, JP Singh has, to his credit, solar projects of 3 megawatts and above across India. Another speaker who is gracing this occasion and this webinar is Dr. Rajesh Arora, who is a doctorate in earthing systems. He's a specialist in earthing systems, and he will share with us his views about earthing, especially about green and permanent earthing. What is earth resistance all about, and how do we measure earth resistance? How does earthing make the world safe? These are the various topics he will touch upon during this webinar today. And immediately after I have finished, it will be architect Kapil Mehta, who is based in Ghaziabad, and as I said, committed to green and sustainable architecture. His work is visible across the country with his milestone designs and architect work in industrial as well as high-rise buildings, residential buildings, and many other works that he has done. And I really have enjoyed looking at his projects, which whenever I visited his office. Before inviting the first speaker, that is architect Kapil Mehta, let me set the rules of the meeting. All members are requested to keep yourself on mute. Please unmute when you wish to speak or ask a question. If you have a query, please feel free to ask it in the chat box. We will make all our efforts to answer those queries at the end of the session when we'll have a questionnaire session. Rahul and Vikas from our team are noting those questions. And if we are not able to answer all the questions, we will make sure that we send you the answers to those queries subsequently later on. This meeting is being recorded and therefore it will be available to you after a few days. And now let me invite Architect Kapil Mehta to please open this webinar.
Thank you, Commander Vijay ji, and I welcome great audience here. It's been a blessing in disguise that we all the professionals have been blessed with a plenty of webinars, giving a positive knowledge and far purer knowledge than WhatsApp University that we have been getting. Do you agree with me? If you really agree with me, just put yes in the chat box. Yeah, I can see so many answers. Thank you very much. This symposium being a part of such good webinars, and I congratulate the organizers and attendees of this webinar for their participation on this topic of green and permanent earthing for safer India. This symposium they have specially created for architects, interior designers and town planners involved in building and infrastructural projects. Although this topic earthing is not so much discussed, and we as architects are more often rely upon the wisdom of our MEP consultants while working on our projects. But there are various studies that so many micro level topics in our services play a major role in keeping the built environment safe. Taking care of our mother earth, giving green solutions, earthing being a part of them. That's why it's been discussed over here. And I hope that the technical presenters who would take care of it, and I'm sure that there would be many takeaways for architects from this webinar today. Now why I'm saying that the earthing takes care of our mother earth, because the most common material used in earthing is charcoal and salt. This has a limit of capacity according to the resistivity of earth, and also it doesn't give a uniform effect according to the required capacity. It means that it doesn't work everywhere, and also requires a lot of maintenance for keeping it moist. And age of earthing is another aspect that so many times we have found that faulty earthing, because of faulty earthing we lose our mother earth very badly. And because of these faulty earthings, sometimes we come to know that the earthing has given us a fault when we lose our motherboard in our computers sometimes. Well, I came across a material of concrete earthing, which is also having an aggregate called marconite. This acts as an aggregate in the concrete and castoidite. It will be described in the detailed presentations which would be made by Mr. JP Singh and Dr. Rajesh Arora. And audience here, I think I would request them to just put their questions in the chat box, as if they are examining this material is worth being called as a green material or not. Although this material has not been certified as a green material as of now, Mr. JP Singh will correct me if I am wrong. So now this material is also having something which can be readable and recordable in parameters, and this is also designed according to the soil resistivity. मिट्टी से मुझे प्यार है, and I hope that you all would be loving your mother earth. Say yes in chat box if you agree with me. Thank you so much. Here I would like to share my experience in one of my projects, which was designed for an IT industry for about 1200 computers of very high configuration were to be installed in that project. And the earthing was to play a very major role in keeping that data server safe and running most of the computers 24 by 7, the company being giving service to American and European countries. So we got the soil resistivity checked and planned earthing according to the capacity required, and also managed every detail of the location and coordinated with the other services. Since our plot was in a ratio of 1 is to 3.5, and the total width of the plot was very less, and we were having uh, driveways on both the sides, so we were hardly having any space for those services which were to be provided over there, and having this designed earthing and planned it in a very advanced stage, we could just accommodate every service so flawlessly and run our machinery in the best manner. So most of the insights of the soil resistivity will be explained in the coming presentations by Mr. JP Singh and Dr. Rajesh Arora. I'm hoping that the webinar is going to be of great interest for architects, interior designers, and town planners working on the prestigious buildings attending this webinar. Now, over to, before I go to Mr. JP Singh for his presentation, I would like to have a few words from our past President COA, Mr. Architect Vijay Garg.
Thank you, Kapil. I think it is a topic to discuss which is not usually discussed among architects and particularly not even thought of as a primary concern. And I'm sure this will be a learning experience for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome Architect Balbir Verma, past President Indian Institute of Architects, Architect Munish Chandraji from Lucknow, Architect Rakesh Dhar. Thank you very much for gracing this webinar.
Now over to you, Mr. JP Singh.
Very good morning, everyone, and thank you for the very wisdom words from Kapil sir. The role of Mother Earth in our lives and how and what kind of gratitude we have towards our Mother Earth. So thank you so much for sharing the insight. I totally agree with you that so far we have not been able to, in such cognizance, to express our gratitude towards our Mother Earth. And I thank you for the green philosophy that you have shared towards the earthing and the other aspects of the life. Moving forward about this session, I feel that whenever I talk to an architect, I always see them in search of a design which can speak itself, which can convey the wisdom, and which can remain there forever. And when I see remain there forever, the word which comes in my mind is the green, because green is forever. So whenever I talk to architects, I always emphasize on two things: green and safety. Green and safety. And when I say green and safety, I mean by spreading green so that we can contribute to our Mother Earth, which is in a desperate need of the green. And thanks to the other side, thanks to this corona, in a one way, we have been able to see the lost beauty of our Mother Earth. How beautiful our Mother Earth could be in terms of sky, in terms of fresh air, in terms of an extended home for all of us. Imagine if this kind of Mother Earth, which is an extended home for us, if we can add more green into it, how beautiful it could be. And when we are talking about green, we can't forget safety also, because at the end of the day, safety is very important for all of us. That is why we create safety nets around us. But we are very much ignorant on a safety aspect, which we want to share with you. So here we are sharing that in UK, only 8 lives are getting electrocuted every year, whereas in the count in India is 13 every day. So we are roughly 1.5 times on daily basis as compared to their annual basis. So in India, the count for safety, the count of electrocution is 4,000, and this is the official data. Unofficial data can be more than this, because this data doesn't contain the farther sites of rural India. So imagine if the 4,000 lives is the official data which is getting electrocuted on daily basis, what safety what is the scope of the safety that we can enhance for. There is a big scope of the safety that we can enhance for. And the next slide which I'm sharing with you is the data from National Crime Bureau. This data states that 20 to 155% died due to accidental fire caused by electrical short circuits. This is due to fire. But here the important point is that what is the reason behind those fire accidents? And, and study reveals that 40% of the fire accidents happen due to electrical faults only. And earthing is the main reason for that. That is, earthing is the main reason. If earthing is strong, we can control these electrical fires. But since earthing is not so strong, these electrical faults keep on happening and people keep on losing their lives. Electrical equipments keep on getting damaged. Sensitive electronic equipments keep on getting burnt, and their microcontroller cards keep on getting burnt and damaged. So this is where the role of safety is very important, not only from the human life's point of view, but also from the point of view that we are losing our protection in the industries if any of our machine, if control card of any of our machine is getting damaged. So this is my submission to the architects, where they are considering green in their projects. They please do kindly accommodate safety in your projects so that we can save the lives of the human beings, so that we can control these fire accidents which are happening due to electrical faults, which are happening due to the poor earthing conditions. So moving forward, when we are talking about the safety, there are three main factors which are associated with the performance of the electrical earth kits. The first factor which we are going to discuss here is we are talking about the design of the earth kit. What kind of design it can be that we have a good solution. There are three main factors, which is soil resistivity is the first factor, required resistance value, earth enhancing material. These are the three factors which contribute to the design of the earthing system. uh, I really acknowledge the architects community over here, and it is a very humbling experience for us to share this design practice with them. But since this design practice is quite a technical thing, I want to keep it in a analogous manner so that the idea can be easily conveyed. From our experience in the industry, we have seen that earthing has been taken as a very standard subject. When I say that it has been taken as a very standard subject, it means that earthing solution is same for Bhopal, for Amritsar, for Jaipur, for Pune, for Chandigarh, for Rajasthan. So this is the standard practice which is taken across without considering the soil resistivity of the place. We have been into industry and we have felt that people say, okay, आप एक 3 मीटर की रॉड लगा दीजिए, हमारी अर्थिंग कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. But 3 meter rod is not a standard solution for any earthing solution. So when we are saying that it is not a standard solution, I want to put forward analogous idea for the earthing. The analogous idea is that how many of you believe that insurance is not a standard subject? That insurance is not a standard subject. It depends upon the age of the person. It depends upon what kind of premium, what kind of coverage you are looking for. Those who agree with me, I request them to kindly type yes, that insurance is not a standard subject. So there are so many yes which I can see, and I really appreciate this yes, that earthing is not a standard subject. As an insurance agent asks you, sir, what is your age? And then you answer, my age is 60 years. Then he asks, sir, what is the cover you are looking for? And then you say, sir, I am looking for a cover of 20 lakh rupees. And then you ask him to do the insurance for your child also, who is only 30 years old. The insurance agent asks you, sir, what is the age of your son? Then you say 30 years. And when you just ask him what is the kind of cover you are looking for your son, then you might choose, okay, I am old, I can take a cover of 20 lakh rupees. My son is very fit, my son is very body freak, so he is very fit and fine, so I can go for a cover of 5 lakh rupees only. So you have given very clear input to the insurance agent that this is my design requirement. My design requirement is 60 years, 20 lakh, 30 years, 5 lakh. So with this, he will give you the premium. He will give you the amount which you need to give him. In the similar way, earthing is not a standard subject. For earthing, your first question as an insurance agent asks, what is your age? Your first question is, sir, what is the soil resistivity over there? If you get an answer for the soil resistivity, it means we know how we are going to design for the soil resistivity. We have our expert, Dr. Rajesh Arora ji with us. He is PhD holder. There are only 5 persons in India who are PhD holder in earthing, and we are lucky to have one of among those 5 with us, Mr. Rajesh Arora. And coming back to the point, the second question is required resistance value. What is the resistance value you are looking for? So I'm sure that architects present over here must have heard about the various earthing values, which is from 1 ohm to 5 ohm. If 5 ohm is sufficient, 2 ohm is sufficient, 1 ohm is sufficient. These varies upon the kind of earthing we are looking for, whether it is neutral earthing or body earthing, or the voltage level of the system also, whether it is 11 kV, 33 kV, or 66 kV. So it all varies upon that. So keeping this thing in mind, what I believe that earthing is not a what I feel that earthing is not a matter of standard solution. It is a matter of design, and we need to see what is soil resistivity and what is required resistance value. Let me show you what is required resistance value just for an idea. So here we can see that for distribution transformer, the required resistance value is 5 ohm. For the power station, it is 0.5 ohm. So here we can see it is vary as an insurance cover of 5 lakh to 20 lakh. Here it is varying from 0.5 ohm to 5 ohm. So these things are need to be designed. So this is not a standard solution. And that is why people are losing their lives. That is why the electronic equipments are getting burnt, because the systems are not designed properly. Because the systems are not designed properly, that is why these casualties are happening. And by designing the system properly, we can control these casualties. With this, I request our expert, Dr. Rajesh Arora ji, to kindly share some insights in a very brief, in a very analogous manner also, so that the idea can be conveyed about the importance of soil resistivity.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome all the architects, because architects are basically the architect of future of India, and there is quite similarity between the architect and myself, because they are starting everything from the ground, and I am a grounding person. I am going to talk about the importance of accurate earthing grounding design for the safe buildings. Why groundings and why Rajesh Arora? I would like to answer all these things in my 10 minutes presentation. I was also very surprised why I am here with architect and talking about grounding, because grounding is the things that makes everything safe, and it is the objective of not architect or every engineers to make every Indian safe. We have to work very hard to give safety of people of India. All these news in the newspapers, on the televisions, hurts me. It is a news that says electrocution kills nearly 30 Indians a day. Why? Why such killings are there? Who is responsible? We have to think, we have to ponder over this concern, important subject. And out of this electrocution, if you look at the total fatality because of your power system, 40% are fire accidents in buildings are caused by due to electrical issues. It hurts. Where we lose, we have to do something. The answer why I am here, the grounding is the most neglected subject. So far, electrical engineers, civil engineers are concerned. We usually talk about big substation, big building, and we take earthing for granted. And being the researcher, it's my duty to take this subject to the next level. And I have to update various engineers, various citizens of India. And I have a dream to make my India free of accident because of poor earthing. I'm working for that. What ground is? When you say ground is automatic process. You talk about motherland. When you are deliberately connecting your rod to motherland, it is grounded. Even if you are not connecting any metallic part to your electrode to motherland, it is still grounding. But the difference is that one is intentional grounded system, second is accidental grounded systems. When it becomes accidental, we have to give path. We have to give path to the fault current to back to the source so that we can remain safe. And very important thing, for a human to kill, you need only 25 milliamperes current. That gives you pain. It is very hard to let go. This is the only reasons there are 3 governing regulations NBC 2016, IS 304/318, IS 732 2019. All these documents are freely available on the net. You can go and download, and you can see all these regulations recommends about 30 milliamperes of RCCB, PLCB, because this is the limit that anyone can bear. Beyond 30 milliamperes, it is certain to happen that you will die. You won't be anymore. And we are usually overlook the systems we are having. We talk about the buildings and the projects, but we never try to understand what kind of systems in India we are getting. It may be TNC system, it may be TNCS, it may be TNS, TT system, IT system. T here denotes your earthing, N for neutrals, and C for combined. Whereas S for separate, when your neutral is separate and earth is separate, that becomes T and S. When it is common, it becomes T and C. IT, isolated earth, when you don't need earth. TT system, when one earthing is at the source and second is at your projects, then comes dirty earthing, clean earthing. There are so many confusion, and you have to make aware yourself about what is the importance of groundings. Grounding is not to connect anything to ground. It's related with the safety of the people, the safety of the person, safety of the equipments you are going to have. I have tried to compare the systems, TT system, TN system, and IT system. And all these systems have their advantage and disadvantage. I try to depict in this picture. I'm not going into the depth, and we have to understand there is earthing, there is bonding. You can't intermix both things. You should be very careful. Grounding is to connect your conductive part and to the ground deliberately. And bonding is connecting different metallic parts. It's tenuous or conductive with same kind of bonding jumpers. They are basically 5 purpose. You have to provide return path. You have to take care of the safety and living being in the vicinity of your projects in the building. You have to limit touch and step potential. You have to provide path of discharge current, because lightning may happen to your building, and if there is no path, there is going to be disaster. Whenever lightning occurs, you need a dedicated path to discharge that current to earth, and that is done by earthing. And earthing means designing. It is not just inserting one rod in the motherland. I try to express that thing with the analogy. Patient, but what we do when ambulance is moving on the road, we give way. Similarly, we have to give way to our fault current to go to the source, to protect, to save the patient in the ambulance. And here the patient is our faulty systems. Otherwise, the patient will die if we don't give way to ambulance. Short circuit and fault has relation. They move hand to glove. They move hand to hand. Whenever the short circuit happens, there is generation of heat, and there is property of current that is called heat property, and because of that heat, the insulation fails. There occurs a disaster, and that is depicted by that picture. Earth return path. You have 2 options. You can use your dedicated earth, or you can do equipotential systems. In these pictures, everything is equipotential. There is no potential difference. When there is no potential difference, there is no current. When there is no current, you are totally safe. You have to understand grounding and bonding. The system may be grounded, but if it is not bonded, you are not safe. You have to understand that thing. You have to give full attention to both the subjects. I try to depict that thing with the pictures. What are the factors? Earthing itself has 6 points you have to consider. First, you have to do with the measurement of resistivity. You have to keep in mind the short circuit current that may happen in your vicinity in that project. What is the area of earthing conductor you are going to choose? What is the density of current you have to take care? What is the resistance? Resistance comes in the last, and human safety in terms of tolerable touch and step potential and ground potential rise that happens because of the fault. This is how we measure the earth resistivity at site. But the problem is this one. You are measuring the resistivity of the top 5 meters, 6 meters, but you never know the resistivity beneath that 5 meters. Because what happens is most of the time at projects, refilling is required. You fill the soil, you fill the sand to make the level high. When you are filling it with good resistivity, good quality of soil, it is helping you. In case the quality is not good, it is not helping. It is making your design weak. You are playing with we start playing with the safety of people in that vicinity in buildings or projects. These are the dangerous potentials happens everywhere when there is a fault. There is step potential, touch potential, mesh potential, transfer potential. GPR is there. We have to take care. These are pictures depicting what step potential when the fault is there. When you start moving, there is some potential difference between the two of your steps. And when you start touching anything, the touch potential happens. That must be within the safe limit. Otherwise, you are going to get a shock. When we talk about resistance, what resistance is? It has three parts. It is a resistance of electrode itself, it is resistance of connector, and resistance offered by the surrounding earth, motherland. And the motherland plays very important role when you talk about the resistance of electrode. Be careful while measuring the resistivity because everything depends, every design depends on how accurately you are measuring it. Last but not the least, when there is no earth, it becomes unearth and we have to avoid it. Unearth means fire, disaster, and disaster. And thank you very much. And kindly, I would request everyone kindly write down on your chat. I have started one pledge that is RPDGUI. That is Rajesh Huda pledge for development of grounding understanding in India. And let us make India free because of electrical accident, especially because of poor earthing. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh Arora, for this session. It was very informative and very interesting. And thank you, JP Singh, as well as architect Kapil Mehta, especially to Mr. Kapil Mehta for making this webinar possible. Now we are moving towards the question and answers. We have just 10 minutes to go. However, let me kind of conclude with the insight that I have received from these three sessions. One is that more than 20 milliamperes and people can get killed. And this is very, very dangerous. And usually in our minds, 20 milliamperes is a very, very small figure. But you can imagine the kind of damage or the kind of incident that can happen. The second thing which I learned from these three sessions is that the awareness about earthing is very low, point one. Second, that whatever earthing we are doing, whether it is at our homes or it is in our offices or it is in our factories or industrial area, they are all mostly of either salt and charcoal, or it is of chemical, which where the life cycle of these products is not more than 5 to 8 years. Whereas as architects, you are designing and planning usually a building for 50-year plus. And therefore, easily we can say the need for replacement of the earthing, the conventional earthing, is about nearly 10 to 12 times. So in the life cycle of the building or the factory or manufacturing unit, or for that matter, the tower or whatever that it may be, or the solar systems also. The second thing is that the conventional earthing it needs water as the conductor, whereas in the case of the Marconite earthing, it has got a life cycle of more than 50 years, and also it does not need any maintenance or any water as humidifier while it is operating. One of the major points which I got from Dr. Rajesh Arora is that there is no soil resistivity being tested, whereas most of the architects, I'm sure, are before they plan, they are getting the geological survey or the geological measurement done for a particular site whenever it happens. If there are any queries that are there, I have been noting a few questions. I would like to start with ask this question. Tell me one thing, JP, that the solar systems are usually giving a guarantee of 25 years as per the regulation, whereas the earthing is around 5 to 8 years. How does it work out for such kind of systems to be designed and operated thereafter?
So particularly speaking about the prevailing practices, only the solar modules are there for guaranteed for 25 years. But what about the other equipments like lightning protection is there, earthing is there. So what we have seen that there is a need of earthing solutions which can offer the longevity, and why the longevity is important, because if the if earthing solution can offer longevity, then its performance can remain stable. And what does it means when we say its performance can remain stable? That it will continue saving the lives of the human beings, and your equipments like inverter, DCDB shall be protected, and it's going to add more to the greener approach of the solar. So in that way, I feel that earthing solutions are needed to be meant for the decades. And here something which I want to show. So why the longevity is not there? Because only one reason for the failure of earth pit is there, and that one reason is prevailing everywhere in this earth, and that one reason is known to us, and that one reason is corrosion. Due to the corrosion only, the earth pits fail. Most of the earth pits perform on the account of moisture. When we add salt into the earth pit, it means we are adding moisture into it. When we add chemical into the earth pit, it means we are adding moisture, because chemical or bentonite is nothing but moisture absorbing clay, which absorbs the moisture, and that moisture remains there for some times. After some time it is not there, and that leads to the corrosion. The presence of the moisture leads to the corrosion, and you can see on the screen what happens when an earth pit gets corroded, and how can you
JP,
expect this earth pit to save lives, because
yeah,
it is not
JP,
connected at all.
JP. Therefore, my question is: even a marconite earthing has a metal rod. So, are you saying that the marconite earthing rod does not get corroded? How is that possible?
Yeah, that is very much possible. Why? Because what we need to understand, what is the structure of an earth pit. Let me show you in some other slide. These are the two earth pits. The above one is the chemical earthing. The bottom one is marconite earthing. The what there are two components in any earth pit. A is the rod which carries the fault current into the ground, which you see as a solid rod, bar kind of thing. And second is the earth enhancing material surrounding that electrode, which can be charcoal salt, which can be bentonite, chemical, or which can be marconite. These chemical compounds get leached into the ground over a period. You can see that leaching in the above pic, you can see that leaching is happening. And this chemical goes into the ground, polluting your mother earth. But in the case of the marconite, you mix cement with the marconite. When you mix cement with the marconite, it becomes concrete. You can refer to the slab over your head. You can see that the slab is remaining there for the generations. Reinforcement remains the same. So this concrete actually protects the conductor from the corrosion, and this protection from the corrosion is able to give you longevity, is able to give you the performance, because if there is no decay is happening, the performance will remain there forever.
Sir, you were talking about the life of electrode. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a very tricky question to answer, but I can give you, I will explain why life is 25 years or 40 years. What happens? There are two parameters. That depends on resistivity of soil. If resistivity is low, what happens? That indicates that there is more metals inside your soil. That is to be taken care of.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Kapil Mehta, please go ahead. You wanted to say something, please.
Yeah, actually, taking a cue from the presentations, we have been given to understand that we are losing some 13 lives every day because of electrocution in India. And this becomes almost 4,000 lives every year. And if we compare it with the UK, we are almost 500 times more than UK. So this definitely needs to be brought down, and I think we need to have more and more good earthing solutions, not only in the buildings but also in our infrastructure projects, in our public areas, because I have got to know from news sometimes back that the entire family got electrocuted during rainy seasons, standing under a tree somewhere in South India or in Andhra Pradesh somewhere. So this human life really needs to be valued more in terms of getting these types of loss of life. Even we have not lost this much of lives due to corona, but God forbid that we have any more casualty because of corona. But losing lives 4,000 per year only due to electrocution really needs us to introspect somewhere. And also putting my point of view for saying that this particular material is a green one, although it has not been certified yet, but using the other common conventional earthings like charcoal and salt. Charcoal comes from a wood, and at least 25 kg of dry wood is required to prepare that much of quantity of charcoal, which is required for one earthing pit. So we can think about that how many earthing pits that we are having in our project. Sometimes even earthing pits cross 100 in numbers. So how much of wood that we lose, and we keep on pouring water into it. That is also a huge quantity of water that we have to pour in for keeping these pits uh, moist always. And before I close myself, I would like to thank once again COA past President Mr. Vijay Garg and Puneet Sethi, Haryana chapter of Indian Institute of Architects, Shamit Manchanda, Indian Institute of Architects, Northern chapter, architect Nilanjan Bhoval is with us, architect Amit Babbar is there. I can see architect Anuj Srivastava, architect Rakesh Dhar, Munish Chandraji from Lucknow, architect Alok Ranjan Pandey, and thank you very much. And there are lot many architects who are there behind the Dashavatar of JP Singh today has taken place. And I would like to thank everyone for being here. Thank you very much. And I would request the organizers, if you have a couple of more minutes, I would like Mr. Shamit Manchanda and Puneet Sethi to address the audience for 1 or 2 minutes each, if you can.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm Shamit Manchanda, Chairman, Indian Institute of Architects, Northern Chapter. This was a very interesting webinar, a topic not touched by many, but a very important topic nonetheless. Losing even one life due to an accident is not acceptable. So I hope everybody has gained from this, and I would request the organizers to share this presentation with all of us so that we can study it in detail and get back to you if we have any queries. Thank you.
I would request Mr. Vijaydeep to carry it forward.
Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, for having joined this webinar of ours, and I'm sure it has, added value to your, today's session, to the knowledge you have, and what it will add value to your work also. Please say yes in the chat box if it has been useful. In case it has not been useful, you can say no, but please give us a feedback as to what has not worked for you. We will definitely try to improve it next time and make it better. And thank you very much, Mr. Puneet Sethi, and also architect Kapil Mehta. What you said is very important. We cannot lose lives, especially we have actually led the whole world in the coronavirus by saving our people instead of losing lives the way they've been lost in Europe and America and other countries. So that means it only shows if we are determined we can do it. And the commitment with the way it has come out from this group, I'm sure that we'll be able to do it. Thank you very much for joining, and we can wind up this meeting now. And all those people who have sent your queries, we will be sending you the answers as well as the presentation. And anybody who wants the recording of this meeting, of this webinar, can ask for that, and we will send it to you. Thank you very much.